Hey everyone, Nate PTK here, back with day 2 of the A-League players you might see in the E-League 2022. Yesterday was Adelaide United, today we're having a look at Brisbane Roar. A reminder that every E-League competitor must use 2 A-League players from the club they're representing. That means if you sub one off, you need to bring another one on. Now if we're being blunt about Brisbane Roar, you got the superstar and then the rest. Now, while I have said that I'm not really worried about the overall rating of foot items within FIFA, generally speaking, it's not great that Brisbane have 0 gold foot items. However, Mileušnić, I swear I hear that said different by different commentators. One day he'll tell me himself, Nikolai, let me know how you want your name to be said, mate. Anyway, here's the second paciest foot item that we've had, Australian or A-League or whatnot, in FIFA ever, so stay tuned to the end of the video to hear more about him. But then there's only 5 other silvers, and I tell you what, there's just not a lot of pace or much going on there. Corey Brown's got a bit of pace among him, but then not much else to play with. And Lascano maybe just gets by with that shooting and dribbling. But realistically, it's a pretty light roster for the Brisbane Roar. If you're an E-League competitor looking for your 2 A-League players and your 2 substitutes, you're going to have to do your research. The good news is, for Brisbane Roar, that comparatively to maybe some of the other A-League teams, there is a lot of pace going on. I spoke about that in the last video, how for mine, pace is the first thing you look at, and then maybe some of the other attributes, particularly depending on the position. So most of these foot items for Brisbane, even though they're bronze, or most of them are bronze, they will have the pace to keep up with these better foot items. It's just about finding those 1 or 2 other stats to fill a hole here or there. Now, as always, fam, I'm going to pick my 4 players that I would have starting with a sort of second substitute, ending with the first starter. Let me know in the comments who you would choose for Brisbane Roar if you were competing in the E-League. All right, now I've immediately cheated here by purposely not really hovering over Ramazani very much. Have a look at that pace. So 51 overall, 85 pace for a center back. That is very handy indeed. Now, I know that defending and whatnot isn't great. The 1-star weak foot, he's only 5'7", and you're probably not playing him at center back. Maybe if you've got a 3 or at the 5 at the back, you could get rid of it. I'm thinking if you're playing with a 4 at the back formation, stick him at left back or right job, and hopefully he can do a job. Failing that, maybe an enforcer at CDM, but then that passing is going to make things a little interesting. All right, substitute number 1 is Ramat Akbari. That 79 pace is just very, very handy indeed. So he's a center mid. Once again, maybe I'm looking at that holding mid type position, or if you're playing a formation with legitimate center mids, he could certainly link up the play. 74 agility and 76 balance means he should be composed enough on the ball to get the job done. All right, the second starter, if you like, is Corey Brown. Repeating myself a little bit, I know that defending stat isn't particularly high, but 72 pace should be good enough as a fullback, maybe even a wingback, to contribute for one of these competitors. Again, you have a look at that 77 balance. It does mean that if this foot item is used, make an interception, make a challenge, hopefully then they can sort of get decent control of the ball and then not get dismantled by the Vieira or the Hult charging at them. And surprise, surprise, the best starter for mine for the Brisbane Roar is that man again, Nikola Mileušnić. 4-star weak foot, fam. It is somewhat rare. There are rather a few foot items with the 5-star weak foot, more of them as the series continues. That 95 acceleration, 97 sprint speed, again, makes it the second fastest A-League or Australian foot item ever in the history of FIFA. And rightly, some people will point to that 99 agility and say, second fastest? Nate PTK, are you sure about that? But hey, that's just how pace is attributed. Don't come at me. 87 balance again. Decent ball control and dribbling. The finishing is a little below par, but if you apply the right chemistry style, particularly with that pace pretty much already taken care of, there's no reason why we shouldn't see this foot item contribute for Brisbane Roar in the E-League. But again, those are just my thoughts. If you would like to see other foot items for Brisbane Roar in the comments, let me know. Thank you for watching. This video will be back again tomorrow with the Central Coast Mariners.